Well, hello and welcome back to the Daily Brew, the devotional where every day we drink a new brew of coffee and we see what God is brewing for us in the Bible. Yes, it's cheesy, but it's true, and you join me here in Auckland, New Zealand for day 300. It's day 300. I started the show so chill. It's day 300, everybody. This is a huge moment. I can't believe I started this so flat. I've just realized what day we're doing. It's day 300. This is a huge milestone, everybody. Yes, 65 days to go. Wow. What a time to be alive. 300 days into the Bible reading journey. Congratulations if you've been reading the Bible and doing this journey every single day for 300 days. It is a massive achievement. Congratulations. Huge, 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 huge. What a time to be alive. I can't believe I started this so flat. I could re-record it, but now you know this is real. This is what we do. Hey, let's have a look at what scriptures we're going to be reading, no matter what platform you're on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Skype, I don't know, whatever platform you're on. Let's have a look. They'll be in the descriptions as well. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 3 to 12. Titus chapter 2, verse 1 to 15. And a new book, Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 1, chapter 3, verse 19. So those are our scriptures that we're going to be reading today. And as always, they're in the descriptions below. Let's talk brews today, and for the 300th day, let's have a look at this. It is our final time with the Acme Decaffeinated. Now, yesterday in the Chemex, I was unimpressed with how it tasted. So today, in the French horn press, I'm hoping, or the plunger, I'm hoping that it's going to give us a bit more of a rich flavor and that this decaf coffee doesn't disappoint for another time. So let's give this a go right here, right now, for the final time on day 300. Let's hope this is not a letdown too. Yeah. Okay, on the low end, that's better. I think the decaf coffee, this Acme decaf coffee, really does need a bit of that low end in there to make up for the lack of that coffee flavor. This has got a lovely, it's actually quite lemony. There's a lemony, citrusy flavor that's in there, but with the lower end, it comes in with a bit more of a stronger kick. So not a complete disappointment. I'm going to give this a 6.5 because it tastes too citrusy for me, but it's quite nice, and I would continue to have this as a plunger. So make sure that if you're looking for a decaf coffee, this is currently the number one decaf coffee done by the Daily Brew. We'll no doubt try some more as the days come, but hey, 65 days to go. 65 days to go. And then we've completed the Daily Brew project. What an incredible time to be alive. That's it for the brews, though. Let's get into the Bible for this 300th day of Bible reading. One of the more popular words in the book of Proverbs is the word fool. It pops up 96 times in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs uses the word fool as an opposite to a wise person. In our proverb today, we're told that criticism from ignorance or from fools can come our way, and the question is how we're going to respond to it. There's a tension here. We don't want to reply because the person who brings the criticism is foolish, and engaging with them on that level is a bit of a waste of time. But also, we want to reply because we don't want that person to think that their foolishness is right, and that is the great tension. But it's also important to understand that we might actually be the foolish person. Now, scripture kind of suggests that this could be the way that it goes. It says, do not be fooled. You are not as wise as you think in comparison to God. Look at this in verse 12. It says, do you see a person wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for fools than for them. Ouch. You might think that you're a wise person. And after seeing how silly fools can be, to find out that when we think that we're wise, that we're even worse off than fools, it kind of hurts. So what do? We have to be humble, seek to understand, and have grace for people, even if you think you are right. Paul writes in Titus today, in the passage in Titus, that we should make the teaching about God, our Savior, attractive. Then he gives a bunch of instructions on personal conduct so that people have nothing bad to say about them. This is the list. I'm going to read this list to you, okay? And let's just see how you line up with this list. He says this. He speaks on sound doctrine, being temperate, self-controlled, sound in faith, reverent, not addicted to too much wine, virtuous and pure, living disciplined lives, showing integrity, seriousness and soundness of speech, saying no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and living self-controlled, upright, and godly lives. It's a lot of instruction right here. And the reality is that it's not so attractive to the world right now. If you go through that list, you look at that and go, well, it's not actually that attractive in the world. But this is the life that we're supposed to live. The reality is the outside world might look at people who live like this and not think it's attractive. But when someone actually spends time living close to or around someone who lives like this, it becomes a very attractive prospect to the life that they are living in sin. Go through that list and see what you can tighten up on. We don't have to be perfect, but our sights should be on Jesus, the one who modeled this so well for us. His grace is there for us when we fall short. New book time, it is the book of Habakkuk. Now, Habakkuk was the author of this book, and he was a prophet. It was likely written around 627 and 605 BC. This is a different kind of book. It's written as a dialogue between the prophet and the Lord. It starts with Habakkuk's complaints and questioning the Lord's allowing of evildoers among God's people to go unpunished. God replies that he is sending an overwhelming judgment on them by bringing the Babylonians around them who were surrounding them against God's people. We don't know much about this prophet, apart from the fact that he asked questions and he got answers. It seems that he followed a kind of pattern over the 3 chapters in Habakkuk. Chapter 1, we see that he watches and sees. Habakkuk 2, he stands and he sees. Habakkuk 3, he kneels and he sees. This pursuit and pattern of seeking the Lord is something that inspires me personally to be more intentional with the way that I seek God for answers. The book records 2 conversations and then closes with a hymn and a doxology, which reveal that all the questions that have been asked have been answered. And there's a new confidence that's found in the Lord. As you read this book, see that God is an answerer, but to those who seek him in earnest and who are unafraid to seek God with honesty and humility.
3, 2,
Verse
1.
of the day. Verse of the day today is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. See, the enemy is puffed up. His desires are not upright, but the righteous person will live by his faithfulness. What are your desires for right now? Are you living with a puffed up agenda or puffed up pride? We, those who are righteous through Christ, live by our faithfulness. Faithfulness looks like devotion to him. Like, as in him, I mean God. Behavior, attitudes, and agendas that line up with God's heart. So what does life look like for you? Does it look like puffed up or presence driven? And that is it for the Daily Brew today, day 300 of 365 days of Bible reading. Thank you so much for joining me no matter where you are around the world. I pray this has been encouraging and stirs your heart as you read the scriptures today, that you would see more of yourself and more of God through these scriptures as well. Hey, thank you to everybody on YouTube who has, for the last 300 days, subscribed to the YouTube channel and click the bell so you never miss a devotional upload. Also to all of you on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for following the podcast and rating it. Thank you for doing that. It helps get this out to far more people. That is it though for today. Come back tomorrow. We'll be at day 301 with 64 days to go as we begin our descent from the scripture heavenlies into the real world, completing the Bible in a whole entire year. What a great achievement that is going to be. But we still have 64 days to go, so make sure you come back tomorrow for another day of the Daily Brew.